one.
You know what we should talk about? We should talk about heat stroke. Want to know why that's important? Because it's going to be over 100 degrees for the next 4 days in Texas. So let's talk about heat stroke. So last week, the veterinary emergency group had 6 heat strokes in a 45-minute period, 6 of them. 4 of them did not make it. So what is heat stroke? Heat stroke is basically exactly what it sounds. It's when the animal gets overheated. This happens most commonly in dogs, but it can happen in cats. Most of the dogs that it happens with, it looks like we're going to have a cameo of Jordan coming down with a patient, so we're going to pause. So there she goes. Okay, all right, back to heat strokes. All right, so heat stroke can happen to any animal, but basically it happens when the body temperature rises above 102.5. In dogs, their main mechanism of releasing heat is going to be panting. So signs that dogs are starting to get overheated is just heavy panting, tongue completely hanging out, dark red, brick red gums and tongue. Dogs, when it gets even hotter, they can get nauseated, they can get dizzy, a little bit stumbly, they can collapse, vomiting, diarrhea. All of these things are possible. I've had a dog come in so hot that it was too high to read on the thermometer, and by the time we were able to get a reading, it was 110 degrees. Your brain can only handle being so warm for so long before your brain completely gets fried. So it's really important to know the signs of heat stroke, what to watch for. If you do notice that your dog is getting overheated, please bring the dog inside. You can also dunk the dog in a pool. If we start to notice that they can't catch their breath, the breeds that are the most at risk for heat stroke are going to be our brachiocephalic breeds, so smushed faces, okay? Frenchies, bulldogs, pit bulls, Boston Terriers, pugs, all of those are going to be high risk for heat stroke, okay? A few of the patients that did not make it at the emergency clinic last weekend were bulldogs that had accidentally been left in a shed in the middle of the day. So it's super important to be conscientious, provide lots of shade and water. The brachiocephalic, or the smush-faced dogs, need to not be outside any more than about 10 to 15 minutes and never without supervision when it is hot. If you do see any of these signs of heat stroke in your dog, you do need to proceed to the nearest veterinary clinic or emergency clinic. Give them a call on the way so they can be ready. Treatment of this varies. Sometimes we can save them, sometimes we can't, but it involves rapidly cooling them down, IV fluids, and just be aware that it's much easier and cheaper to prevent heat stroke than to treat heat stroke. And myself personally, I have also lost patients to heat stroke, so this is very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed my TED Talk about heat stroke. I'm going to go on to my very busy Friday. Have a good day.